Hi, I want to welcome you back to another video from the Daily Uplift Official. Thanks for joining in. Today's video will be entitled The Silent Damage of Loving Someone Who Does Not Love You Back. Let's get at it. The most dangerous kind of pain is the kind that doesn't look like pain at all. It doesn't scream. It doesn't explode. It doesn't always leave you overnight. And while you're at it, why don't you please subscribe, like, and share the channel. Sometimes it stays. It sits quietly in your life, smiling at you, texting you, calling you, but never really choosing you. And that's the silent damage. Loving someone who doesn't love you back the same way. Because it doesn't break you all at once. It breaks you slowly. Piece by piece, expectation by expectation, hope by hope. And before you even realize what's happening, you're no longer the person you used to be. Let's be real about how this starts. It never begins with pain. It begins with potential. They show you just enough to keep you interested, just enough attention to make you feel seen, just enough connection to make you believe this situation could be something real. And you hold on to that. You replay the good moments, the conversations, the times they made you feel special. And you tell yourself, they just need time. They've been through a lot. They care. They just don't show it the same way. And it that sound familiar. So this is what you do. You adjust. You become more understanding, more patient, more forgiving, without realizing you're slowly becoming less of yourself. Because now you're not just loving them, you're managing their inconsistency. You're explaining their absence. You're justifying their behavior. And deep down on the inside, you know something feels off. But you ignore it. Because walking away feels harder than holding on to hope. Here's what loving someone who doesn't love you back actually does to you. And most people never see it until it's way too late. It lowers your standards without you even realizing it. What used to be unacceptable becomes something now you tolerate. What used to be bare minimum starts to feel like something you should be grateful for. And this is where the damage deepens, because now you're not asking, do they love me the way I deserve? You're asking, what can I do to make them love me? And that question will cost you everything. Why is that? Because it drains your confidence. Because no matter how much you give, it's never enough to create something that isn't there. It confuses your identity because now you're shaping yourself around someone else's capability instead of standing on your own worth. And worst of all, it makes you feel replaceable. Like if you were just better, if you were just more patient, more understanding, maybe they would finally choose you. But let's stop right there, because that belief is a lie. You cannot earn someone's love by abandoning yourself. Say that one more time. I'm going to say that one more time. You cannot earn someone's love by abandoning yourself. You cannot prove your worth to someone who has already decided not to value you. And the truth that most people avoid is not that you're not enough, it's that you're trying to be enough for someone who isn't capable or willing to meet you where you are. And those are two different things, because some people don't love you, not because you lack something, but because they lack the depth to recognize what you bring. And once you understand that, everything starts to shift. How? You stop chasing clarity. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop shrinking just to fit into their comfort zone. And you start asking a better question. Why am I staying somewhere I'm not fully loved? Because the problem isn't always them. Sometimes, just sometimes, it's your attachment to the version of them you hoped they would become. Go ahead and subscribe and like the video. Now let's talk about the hardest part. The hardest part to the whole situation. The hardest part that you'll have to overcome, and that is walking away. Not because you don't see the truth, but because you do. You know they're not showing up the way you need. You know you're giving more than you're receiving. But there's a part of you that still wants it to work, that still believes if I just hold on just a little longer. And that's where you have to make a decision, not based on your feelings, but based on your value. Because love, real love, doesn't leave you confused about where you stand. It doesn't make you question your worth. It doesn't make you feel like you have to compete for consistency. And if it does, it's not love. It's attachment mixed with hope. Healing from this kind of love isn't about forgetting them. It's about remembering you. Who you were before you started settling, before you started shrinking, before you started accepting less than you deserve. It's about rebuilding your standards, not from pain, but from clarity. What do you deserve? What will you no longer tolerate? What kind of love actually aligns with who you are? And most importantly, it's about choosing yourself, even when it hurts, even when it's lonely, even when part of you still wants them. Because the moment you choose yourself is the moment the silent damage stops. Listen carefully. You didn't lose someone who loved you. You released someone who couldn't. And that's not rejection, that's redirection towards something real, towards something mutual, towards something that doesn't require you to disappear just to keep it. You deserve a love that doesn't make you question yourself. And until you have that, be that for yourself. Thank you for watching another video, and stay tuned for encouragement you can count on from the Daily Uplift Official.